Look at this trophy. Since 1930, thousands of players have fought for it, but almost no one ever holds it twice in a row. No men's national team has successfully defended a World Cup title in over 6 decades. To find the last squad to manage a back-to-back victory, you have to look back to Brazil in 1958 and 1962. That team was anchored by a concentration of generational talent, led by a young Pelé. When Pelé tore a thigh muscle in the second match of the 1962 tournament, the team did not collapse. Instead, they adapted immediately. The dynamic winger Garrincha absorbed the attacking responsibilities, scoring 4 goals to carry them through the knockout stages. Talent alone did not secure the defense. Left winger Mario Zagallo provided an essential structural balance. He possessed the technical skill of a forward, but operated with a relentless defensive work rate that allowed Brazil's creative stars the freedom to attack. They defeated Czechoslovakia 3-1 in Santiago, cementing their status as double world champions. That consecutive victory was a supreme anomaly of adaptability. It created a historical precedent that made defending the crown achievable, masking a trap that would swallow every champion that followed. 4 years later, Brazil traveled to England expecting a third title. Instead, they were eliminated in the group stage. The European teams had spent the intervening years studying Brazil's rhythm, responding with an aggressive, physical style that neutralized them. This timeline captures the core mechanism of the World Cup cycle. In international football, 4 years allows opponents to dissect a champion's strategy. The title holder becomes a static target, while other nations rapidly evolve their tactics. Lifting the trophy validates a team's methods, often leading to a reluctance to change. They enter the next cycle relying on a formula the world has already solved. While the winners attempt to preserve their past peak, challengers are actively innovating, building their entire identity around defeating the kings. Since 1966, the World Cup trophy has functioned as a target on the back. Securing the prize transforms the champion from the hunter into the hunted, trapped by their own success. Consider France in 2002. They arrived as both world and European champions, boasting the top scorers from 3 major domestic leagues. They left the tournament in the first round without scoring a single goal. The weight of national expectation compounded a devastating injury crisis. When Zinedine Zidane tore his thigh muscle just days before the tournament, the team's foundation fractured. The pressure paralyzed a squad built entirely around his individual playmaking. By 2010, Italy demonstrated a different vulnerability. Manager Marcello Lippi returned to defend the 2006 title, choosing to rely heavily on the exact same roster that had won it 4 years earlier. The biological reality of a 4-year gap is severe. The pace and recovery speed required to survive a World Cup tournament degrade over time. Italy's veterans were visibly slower, finishing last in a group they were heavily favored to win. Managers often reward the players who won them the trophy out of loyalty. But tying a nation's hopes to aging rosters and the crushing demands of public expectation consistently triggers an early exit. Between 2008 and 2012, Spain controlled international football with a tactical system that starved opponents of the ball. They dictated the tempo of every match, winning 2 European championships and a World Cup in succession. But in 2014, the aura surrounding them evaporated. Teams like Chile pressed them relentlessly, attacking with speed and vertical aggression. The underdogs arrived believing the Giants could be beaten, dismantling the defending champions in the group stage. This illustrates the cost of tactical stagnation. A rigid adherence to a winning system makes a team predictable. Opponents map the passing lanes and identify exactly where to apply pressure to break the network apart. Over the 4-year cycle, the tactical blueprint is distributed and analyzed. Smaller nations arrive as fearless hunters, possessing the confidence and the methods to neutralize the established order. Germany followed an identical trajectory in 2018. They brought the same positional play that won them the 2014 title, only to be caught on the counterattack. They were knocked out with just 1 win because they failed to abandon their previous blueprint. In modern football, a winning tactical system is a ticking clock. Refusing to evolve guarantees destruction by a rapidly adapting world. In 2022, Didier Deschamps and the French national team attempted to break this cycle. They entered the tournament carrying the weight of history and a severe injury crisis that sidelined several key starters from their 2018 campaign. They navigated a grueling gauntlet to reach the final, fighting through physical setbacks and mounting global pressure as the hunted defending champions. By pushing their title defense all the way to a final penalty shootout, France proved the curse is a test of extreme endurance. Surviving the crown isn't a matter of magic, but of maintaining an elite level of performance against unavoidable physical attrition. Defending the title is theoretically possible, but it requires a near-perfect resistance to the forces of mental exhaustion and the physical demands of the 4-year cycle. As the 2026 World Cup approaches, Argentina steps into the role of the hunted kings. They will carry the title, the historical weight, and the target on their backs. The playing field has leveled. Smaller nations possess the data, the tactics, and the confidence to attack giants without hesitation. The upcoming tournament will test whether Argentina can overcome the structural and biological forces that have stalled every title defense since 1962. The mechanics of the curse are simple. It is the collision of biological aging, tactical evolution, and the human reluctance to change a winning formula. To defend the World Cup, a team must have the ruthlessness to destroy the very team that won it. They must rebuild entirely from scratch while standing at the summit. Brazil defeated history in 1962, but every champion since has discovered that winning the World Cup is easier than surviving the aftermath.